This afternoon, this lovely 60s Fender Princeton Reverb amp came in. The problem description is does not work. I have not powered it on yet. I will show you why. Okay, so came in with the reverb tank disconnected. I asked the owner about that. He said that he thought the cables were making a lot of noise. So I'm going to pull that driver tube so that there is no load on the a no load situation does not exist that could damage this transformer, and I have the tube put to the side. I'll make sure it's the correct AT7. Well, it's a Sylvania. I think I might see an AY written on it, so we'll revisit that. What really stands out here is the power switch is missing, and in its place is a push button, which may or may not be fine. It's going to get replaced with a Carling, and then it's got the 2-conductor power cable with this screw-on Home Depot special covered in electrical tape. So before I plug even this in, this is, the amp's going to get a real power cable, but I've got to remove this tape and make sure this is wired safely. So let me do that real quick. All right, it's certainly not pretty, and it's certainly not fully safe, but it's safe enough for me to plug in and see what's up with that and find the position that does not give me a voltage potential between chassis and ground. So let me do that real fast, and then we'll see what the amp sounds like before we opened it up. All right, so I've confirmed that right now there's only 1.5 volts potential between the chassis of this amp and ground, so I won't get zapped. Let's power it on. What is the thing? And let's see what sounds we get. I'm not sure what speaker's in here. It's non-original, but I see an aluminum dust cap in there, so it could be an interesting discovery. Okay, that's not good. Let's power that off. Like they said, it does not work. That's one of the reasons I had it on a light bulb limiter. So let's take it out of the cabinet and see what's up. Well, I'll give you a full tour of everything inside the amp in a while, but the main source of that noise is visible here in leakage in the main filter cap, the multi-section can cap. So that's a big problem. This 1K resistor here, which takes the place of the choke in this Princeton circuit, that's also pretty dark. So the 1K, the 18Ks, it's pretty typical to change those out. It's got all original electrolytics, as you see. It really needs that done. I'll show you a few other things. All right, the amp's from 66. You can see that stamp there. The power transformer and reverb transformer are also from 66. The output transformer is from 65. Got some zinc oxide built up there. Just hitting that with some isopropyl makes that go away. It won't cause a problem, but it can cause the lamp not to light up if the stuff is all messing up the contact. Let me show you the rest of the amp. All right, after looking through the amp, almost everything's original. That's good and bad. All the electrolytics from the bias supply to the filter caps to all these cathode bypass caps need to be changed. Most of everything else is original, in very good shape, with a very clean board without much warpage. Beautiful black pushback wires. You don't see a lot of that, but I have seen it. These two caps were later replacements, probably 70s. The the reverb pot and the volume pot have been changed. We've got an Alpha here, and this one just says Mauser, probably made by Alpha or some other company. Maybe the crackle that he thought was in the reverb tank is that pot. We'll get there. I need to do a bunch of stuff before I want to power this thing on, but it's a lot of stuff, but it's a very typical stuff to keep a 66 going, or a 64 or 68. So, all new electrolytics, grounded power cable, new Carling switch. We'll revisit the pots and make sure all the pots are working well. We'll make sure all the tubes are working well. We'll make sure the reverb's working well at that point. But until I get all that changed out, all we'd hear would be that awful hum that you heard at the beginning. We won't do that. So let me get a whole bunch of stuff ordered, and let me call the owner and get the green light, and life will be good for this little Princeton. and should go another 15, 20 years after this service.